As we grow older, the foods we choose play an increasingly vital role in shaping our health, energy, and quality of life. For those over the age of 60, dietary choices can be the difference between thriving in your golden years or facing unnecessary health challenges. Among all the decisions we make about what to eat, few are as important as the types of meat we include or avoid in our daily meals. Today, we'll explore 4 meats that people over 60 should steer clear of, and 4 that can powerfully support your well-being. These recommendations are grounded in the latest research, including brand new findings from 2024 and beyond, so you can make the most informed choices for your future. Let's begin by understanding why meat is such a key focus. Meat is a primary source of protein, which is crucial for maintaining muscle mass, bone strength, and immune function, all areas that become more important with age. However, not all meats are created equal. Some are loaded with harmful fats, chemicals, amours, and additives that can quietly undermine your health, while others offer clean, powerful nutrition that supports longevity. First, let's tackle the 4 meats you should never touch if you're over 60. Avoiding these can make a dramatic difference in your risk for chronic diseases, cognitive decline, and even cancer. The first and perhaps most dangerous group is processed meats. This includes foods like bacon, hot dogs, sausages, and deli meats such as ham, salami, and bologna. While these might seem convenient or tasty, the reality is far more sobering. Processed meats are high in sodium, saturated fats, and often contain preservatives like nitrates and nitrites. These additives are not just benign flavor enhancers. They're classified as Group 1 carcinogens by the World Health Organization, meaning there is definitive evidence they can cause cancer in humans. Most notably, regular consumption of processed meats significantly increases your risk of colorectal cancer. But cancer isn't the only concern. A landmark study published in 2025 found that consuming processed red meats can elevate the risk of dementia by 14%. For anyone concerned about maintaining cognitive health and independence into their later years, this is a critical finding. The mechanism may involve chronic inflammation and oxidative stress triggered by these meats, which over time can affect the brain and other organs. The second meat to avoid is unprocessed red meat, including beef, pork, and lamb. While these aren't as heavily treated as processed meats, their dangers are still real, especially for people over 60. Unprocessed red meats are high in saturated fat, which contributes to the buildup of plaque in your arteries, raising the risk of heart disease and stroke. A comprehensive 2021 study revealed that for every additional 5 grams of unprocessed red meat consumed daily, the risk of ischemic heart disease climbs by 16%. That's just about the size of a small steak, yet the impact is significant. Red meats are also linked with higher rates of type 2 diabetes due to their effects on insulin resistance and inflammation. The third meat to beware of is fatty cuts from any animal source. This includes ribeye steaks, pork belly, lamb chops with visible fat, and even some forms of dark poultry with skin. These cuts are dense in saturated fat, which not only harms the heart, but can also exacerbate joint pain and inflammation, common issues for seniors. High saturated fat intake is also associated with increased oxidative stress, which can accelerate aging at the cellular level. The fourth and final meat to strongly limit is deep-fried or breaded meats of any kind. Whether it's fried chicken, chicken-fried steak, or breaded pork cutlets, these choices are doubly harmful. The frying process adds even more unhealthy fats, often trans fats, which are notorious for raising bad cholesterol and lowering good cholesterol. Additionally, the high temperatures used in frying can create harmful compounds known as advanced glycation end products, or AGEs, which are linked to inflammation, cognitive decline, and cardiovascular disease. Let's recap the 4 meats you should avoid if you're over 60. 1. Processed meats, like bacon, sausages, hot dogs, and deli meats, because of their links to cancer, dementia, and heart disease. 2. Unprocessed red meats, such as beef, pork, and lamb, due to higher risks of heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. 3. Fatty cuts of meat from any animal because of their high saturated fat content and inflammation potential. 4. Deep-fried or breaded meats, which combine unhealthy fats with toxic compounds. Now, let's shift gears and focus on the 4 meats, or protein-rich foods, that you should make a priority in your daily diet. These choices don't just fill you up, they actively support your health, energy, and resilience as you age. The first meat to include is lean poultry, especially skinless chicken and turkey. These are excellent sources of high-quality protein, crucial for maintaining muscle mass, especially since muscle naturally declines with age. What sets lean poultry apart is its low-saturated fat content. Just a 3-ounce serving of skinless chicken breast, for example, provides about 25 grams of protein with very little unhealthy fat. This makes it an ideal choice for supporting heart health, managing blood pressure, and keeping cholesterol in check. Additionally, lean poultry is rich in B vitamins, particularly niacin and B6, which are important for brain health and energy metabolism. Some research even suggests that diets higher in poultry and lower in red meat are associated with a reduced risk of stroke and some cancers. The second group to embrace is fish and seafood, with a particular emphasis on fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines, and trout. These fish are nutritional powerhouses, loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, especially EPA and DHA. Omega-3s have been extensively studied for their ability to reduce inflammation, support heart health, and protect the brain from age-related decline. Regularly eating fish has been shown to lower the risk of heart attacks, strokes, and even Alzheimer's disease. The American Heart Association recommends at least 2 4-ounce servings of fish per week for optimal benefits. For seniors, the omega-3s in fish can also help ease joint pain, support eye health, and even improve mood and mental sharpness. The third meat to consider is actually a family of plant-based proteins, including legumes, beans, lentils, and tofu. While not meat in the traditional sense, these foods are exceptional sources of protein, fiber, and antioxidants. Legumes and tofu are virtually free of saturated fat and contain no cholesterol, making them heart-healthy choices. They're also packed with micronutrients like magnesium, potassium, and iron, which support muscle and nerve function. The fiber content in beans and lentils helps regulate blood sugar, lower cholesterol, and promote digestive health, all critical issues for people over 60. In fact, studies suggest that replacing red or processed meats with plant-based proteins can dramatically reduce your risk of chronic diseases and improve longevity. The fourth must-have protein source is nuts and seeds, such as almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, and flax seeds. Like legumes, they're not technically meat, but they're a vital component of a senior-friendly diet. Nuts and seeds provide a unique blend of healthy, unsaturated fats, protein, and fiber. Walnuts and flax seeds are especially rich in alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid that supports heart and brain health. Regular nut consumption is associated with better cholesterol levels, lower inflammation, and a reduced risk of cardiovascular disease. For seniors, nuts and seeds can also help maintain a healthy weight, since their combination of protein and healthy fat is very satisfying. Let's recap the 4 meats or protein sources you should include daily. 1. Lean poultry, like skinless chicken and turkey, for high-quality protein with low saturated fat. 2. Fish and seafood, especially fatty fish, for their heart and brain protective omega-3s. 3. Plant-based proteins, such as beans, lentils, and tofu, for fiber, antioxidants, and disease prevention. 4. Nuts and seeds, for healthy fats, plant-based omega-3s, and cardiovascular support. Bringing all this together, the science is clear. What you eat after 60 can profoundly shape your future health. Processed meats, red meats, fatty cuts, and fried meats are linked to higher risks of cancer, dementia, heart disease, and diabetes. On the other hand, lean poultry, fish, legumes, and nuts help build strength, protect the heart and brain, and keep you feeling your best. But why are these differences so dramatic? It comes down to the nutrients and the hidden dangers inside each food. Processed and red meats are brimming with compounds that promote inflammation, oxidative stress, and even direct DNA damage. The preservatives used to keep these meats fresh, like sodium nitrite, can form carcinogenic nitrosamines in the body. The saturated fats in red and fatty meats raise cholesterol and accelerate the buildup of arterial plaque, increasing the likelihood of heart attacks and strokes. Meanwhile, frying meats at high temperatures creates acrylamides and other compounds that can damage cells and contribute to chronic disease. Contrast that with the benefits of the recommended protein sources. Lean poultry and fish provide ample protein for maintaining muscle and bone without the harmful fats. Fatty fish, in particular, offer unique omega-3s that dampen inflammation and support cognitive function. Plant-based proteins and nuts add fiber and antioxidants, which feed beneficial gut bacteria, stabilize blood sugar, and help fight off diseases at the cellular level. For those concerned about getting enough protein as they age, these recommended foods fit the bill perfectly. Seniors need about 1 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day to maintain muscle mass and function. Including a serving of fish or poultry at lunch and dinner, complemented by legumes and nuts as snacks or meal add-ins, can easily help you meet these targets. But it's not just about what to eat or avoid, it's about building habits that last. Here are a few practical tips for making these changes stick. First, plan your meals ahead of time. When you know what's on the menu, you're less likely to reach for processed or fatty meats out of convenience. Consider preparing a batch of grilled chicken breast or poached salmon at the start of the week, so you always have a healthy option ready to go. Second, experiment with new recipes. Beans and lentils are incredibly versatile. They can be added to soups, salads, or even blended into spreads and dips. Tofu takes on the flavor of whatever you cook it with, making it a great addition to stir-fries or curries. Third, use herbs and spices to add flavor without relying on salt or processed sauces. Garlic, rosemary, turmeric, and ginger not only make meals tastier, but also offer their own health benefits. Fourth, if you're transitioning away from red and processed meats, Do it gradually. Start by replacing one meal per week with fish or a plant-based option. Over time, increase the frequency as you discover new favorites. Fifth, keep healthy snacks on hand. A small handful of almonds or walnuts can stave off hunger between meals and provide a steady supply of heart-healthy fats. It's worth noting that everyone's nutritional needs are a little different. If you have kidney problems, for instance, you may need to moderate your protein intake or choose lower phosphorus options. If you're on blood thinners, be mindful of eating large amounts of leafy greens or fish oils. When in doubt, consult with a registered dietitian or your healthcare provider to tailor these recommendations to your unique needs. One final point. Don't underestimate the power of dietary change. Research consistently shows that even modest improvements in diet can yield significant benefits, especially in older adults. Lowering your intake of harmful meats while boosting healthy proteins can reduce your risk of chronic diseases, improve your energy, and help you stay independent and active for years to come. So, if you're over 60 and want to safeguard your health, remember these simple rules. Avoid processed meats, red meats, fatty cuts, and fried meats. Embrace lean poultry, fish, plant-based proteins, and nuts every day. Let the latest science guide you, and let each meal be an investment in your future well-being. In summary, your choices at the dinner table have never mattered more. The latest research leaves no doubt. The meats you avoid and the proteins you choose can steer your health in a new direction. Swap out the bacon and sausage for a piece of grilled salmon or a lentil salad. Trade the steak for a chicken breast or a handful of walnuts. With every bite, you're not just eating, you're building a foundation for a longer, healthier, and more vibrant life. Take these senior health tips to heart. Make them your daily habit and discover just how good life can feel at every age. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and share it with your family and friends so more seniors can protect their health. Comment below which foods surprised you the most. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And of course, subscribe to our channel for more senior health tips every week. Stay healthy, stay strong.